Hello, everyone out there who's listening and joining us on this really unprecedented time. And we are trying to adjust all of us of what has become this new normal. And first and foremost, we wish everyone out there nothing but the best. And hopefully, you are healthy and safe in this new landscape that we're dealing with right now with COVID. With everything happening right now, we can give you a little bit of little changes, monotony that we're all kind of dealing with right now, and hopefully bring some smiles to your faces, especially if you're an Anaheim Ducks fan. We decided to put together a panel for a little Q&A, have some fun, and also find out what the boys have been up to. So I'd like to introduce, I guess you call it a distinguished panel. I don't know. I don't know if I usually use that word, but right now I would. Kind of missing these faces right now. So Adam Henrique is joining us along with Josh Manson and his D partner, Mr. Hampus Lindholm. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Happy to be here. Happy to be here, Frenchie.
Schedule is open, bud.
Yeah, it's good to see your face.
Yeah, it's good to see your face, especially well, Rico. I can't see your face, but my goodness gracious, this being sequestered has done you well with the beard.
Yeah, it's given me some extra time to work on things. So the beard hasn't been touched since we stopped playing.
I wouldn't have known. I never would have known that. But as I mentioned, we're gonna have some fun here today. But first, I want to find out kind of where you've been hanging out and who you've been sequestered with. Hampus, I'll talk with you first. Thanks for dressing up for this. And
thank you always.
In the hair, it's nice to see. And
this is all for you, Frenchie.
I know. I appreciate that. So, what's been going on with you?
No, it's kind of, I've been fortunate in a way because I've been injured. So I've been going into rehabbing and kind of getting back in shape and getting back to where I was before the injury. And otherwise from that, like everyone else, staying at home, try to find stuff to amuse myself at home, which is not easy. A lot of Netflix, a lot of shows, spending time with my sister's been around her, and I've had Ashley come here for some time too. So try to keep myself busy in any way I can.
Yeah, one of the questions later on, I'll find out what you guys been binge watching, because I'm certainly that's been on the agenda for many of us. But Rico, I'm gonna roll up to you. I feel like this is like a bad edition of Brady Bunch, by the way. This is kind of strange. Yeah, this would be a weird reality show if we were all under the same roof. But Rico, well, back to you with you being where you are. Where are you, and who are you with, and what have you been up to?
We're still in Newport. My girlfriend Lauren and I, we decided just to stay here instead of going home to the Toronto area. And we got a couple furry little friends. We got Sammy still, and we're fostering another puppy right now, Surfer. So they've kept us pretty busy and trying to get Surfer adopted, which has been pretty fun. And she's been putting in some good work and some hard hours on the phone trying to pull that off.
Sammy has his own Instagram page, right?
Oh yeah,
like 250 followers. I think it's more than Hampus has.
Yeah, he's taken off pretty good. But we just got him a fresh haircut today too. We thought he was getting chubby, but I think it was just the fur coat. He had the beard going as well.
Fantastic. All right, man. So let's go to you. Just finish your PB&J. You're looking good.
Yeah.
Yes. So how are you doing with Moose and Julie?
We're doing good. We're in California still. Just staying in the same house that we were renting during the season. Just really staying fully quarantined, self-isolating, not seeing anybody else. Obviously, with Julie being pregnant, we got to take some extreme measures. I mean, as everybody else should anyways, but other than that, we're doing good. Just trying to keep Moose healthy and active. I got him down here with me, being a good boy. He's sleepy as usual, which is good. But yeah, other than that, we're just hanging out, man. While, like Hampus said, watching Netflix and finding ways to pass the time.
Mans, we chat a little bit, but want you to kind of tell everyone what's going on too in this crazy time with your wife being pregnant, and I've had some friends who have actually had kids during this time, and it changes every minute. It seems like if you are going to be able to be in the delivery room or how that's all happening. Are you monitoring that situation like hour by hour right now?
Yeah, we're keeping an eye on it. I mean, we met up with our doctor last week. We kind of had our last ultrasound, and we kind of just check in once a week, I think now, until the end. But the last thing we heard was that I can be in there, and it's just one person. They want the spouse in there. But our doctor's a huge advocate for that. You know, she doesn't agree with the mother going through it alone and not having anybody else in the room. So she's going to keep pushing for that, I know. Other than that, she just said wear masks anytime we leave the house. Probably, you know, we'll wear masks when we go to the hospital for the birth and all that. So, but as of now, yeah, we're keeping a close eye on it because, you know, I definitely want to be in there for, you know, the birth of my first child. So
How many months out are you right now?
over 3 weeks, Frenchie.
Oh, jeez.
I know, we're closing in, man. It's closing in quick. Yeah. So we've been like, it's actually been good, you know, a little bit of this time to be at home. We've been preparing like the baby room, and we're getting all the clothes in, and there was a phase where we had a lot of Amazon boxes coming to the door. A lot.
I bet you did. Hampus, going back to you and your cooking prowess, why in the world are you cooking food with a hockey stick? Are you that bored?
No, it's actually because it's like a TikTok thing. Like when I don't know if that song is from like a movie Ratatouille, and
I don't know this stuff.
you ever seen that movie?
No, I have not.
You never seen Ratatouille, Frenchie?
I have
Oh
not
my.
seen Ratatouille. I've seen like Frozen 15.
Well, so it's like a TikTok when you're like supposed to make fun of your cooking skills, kind of thing. Like because that song in the movie is when he makes something really tasty, and it's like a little joke of people making like that can't really cook, making like some kind of food.
It was impressive though. I'll admit, when I did watch it, it was.
Oh, thank you. I do actually like to cook, so I've been doing that a lot now.
Yes.
Shout out to Daily with a Harvest, Half-Baked Harvest cookbook I have. It's putting some work in right now.
Great. Well, someday when social distancing is at a minimum, hopefully you'll invite me over sometime. You never did anyway, so you'll probably invite me over now.
Yeah, you're welcome here.
Good talk, Campus. All right, let's go over
what were you saying? Were you talking to me?
No, I'm done talking to you right now. So let's go
Okay,
over
perfect.
Rico, the NASCAR thing. You and I have had a chance to talk about that before, and I've seen some on Instagram. You got a pretty sweet helmet, watching some tape NASCAR, but you have a pretty sweet setup. Can you walk us over? Is that possible? Show us.
Yeah, it's right here. I got the next level racing setup. So I've been watching the iRacing and online, which is pretty awesome. It's taken a couple weeks to get this thing set up. Trying to order all the parts and the pieces, but it's certainly helps me kill a lot of time. Skills are coming along slowly.
I'll ask you where you rank on this thing right now.
Not high. I think it's my license is level D right now, so I'm not a rookie, but I think D is still pretty low on the totem pole. But my crew chief Shay is in Burford, so
nice.
To try and get any updates from him, it takes a little bit of time to come along, but it's certainly been a lot of fun.
None of your teammates are crew chiefs, I understand.
Yeah, no, not yet. I could buy the crew chief package and send it over to somebody, but I haven't got there yet.
Jeez, that's a little too intricate for many of us. Gents, as we talk about this crazy time we're in, and the reason here we're kind of uplifting hopefully some folks out there that are just looking for a little bit ducks fix, if you will. How important is social media, Ben? And we talk about some of the posts that I've seen from you guys and Hampus. When you look at social media, how important has it been, and how creative are you trying to be to kind of keep in touch with your fans?
No, I think it's really important. I think obviously they can't watch us on the TV playing what we always used to do on the TV. So you try to interact and just kind of keep also, like, it's really good in the way that you can keep talking to people and tell them to stay inside and being safe and reaching out to friends and family. I think today's era makes it a lot easier to go through something like this than it would do if this happens maybe a few years before. So in every aspect, I think it's positive.
Yeah, and Josh, I saw you playing a little volleyball with Julie the other day out and looked like just outside your house. But are you guys trying to get more creative and trying to keep in touch with not only fans though, but what about current and former players that are out there as well?
Yeah, well, like you said, we went and played a little bit of volleyball just to keep a little active. It was in our alleyway, but admittedly I don't post that much. It's more of my wife that is the social media person, and then she spreads it along. But it's good, like Hampus was saying, it's good to let others know kind of how you're going through the situation, how you're doing your social distancing, and with our platforms continuing to stress the importance of it. And then you can find out how other players, I guess for us, what other players are doing, what ways they're giving back, or ways that they're doing their social distancing or staying active, things like that. So it's good.
Enrico, there's been some challenges on social media that have been out there. I think I've seen the toilet paper juggling challenge. I saw Hampus attempt that, and then the burpee challenge as well that's out there as well from head coach Dallas Aiken. So you guys kind of keep an eye on that and hoping it doesn't come your way.
Yeah, I saw a few of the guys take part in it. It's just a good way to make sure everybody's staying active. Obviously for us, we're not able to go into the facilities or the arena to work out, so you have to kind of get creative at home. And Dallas is a big advocate of that. So I think he came up with the burpee challenge, and I believe you can go to the website to check it out and keep an eye on it. Hasn't come my way yet. Probably won't do over 14 burpees if I have to, but I got a decent little home gym here, which has helped on days just getting busy and trying to get a sweat in.
All right, that's a great transition, by the way. I didn't set you up for that, but that's perfect because part of this call that we're doing here includes some of the media members out there that do have some questions for you. So Elliot Tieford from the OC Register, to all you guys, and I'm going to start with you, Rico. Last few weeks, how you guys avoiding the cabin fever, staying in shape? I know that some of the fun stuff you're doing, but what are you doing to be creative? Trying to get workouts in when you're not around your teammates or the workout facility.
Well, I got a few enough items at home here to get me through. Early on, ordered a few more things online. So the first week or so, I just was doing some skipping at home, which helped, and just trying to run through a normal routine, I guess, that I would have at the rink, as I could at home. And then last week, just picked up a bike from the arena, which certainly makes things a little easier being at home, since you're not supposed to go outside.
Yeah. Hampus, what about you? What are you doing? I know you said you're rehabbing an injury, but what are some of the things you're doing?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of yoga and hiking because it's been really good, especially early on for my injury. But I've been fortunate to be able to go to the rink because I've been injured. So I've been able to use the facilities and do the stuff that I need to get back in shape. So I'm really fortunate in that way.
Josh, you just run around with Moose, or what's going on with you?
Yeah, we chase him around all day. I like Rico said, I went and got a bike from the rink, and I've been doing that almost every day to try and stay in shape. I got a couple weights that I lift. Try to stretch as much as I can. I was doing yoga for a little bit, doing some home yoga.
Oh, that's great. Good to hear you had a couple weights.
Lifts up the weights and puts them back down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Good to know. All right, let's talk about the shows, fellas. Hampus, you alluded to it. Let's talk about what are you guys binging right now on Netflix or any other platform?
I think probably feel like everyone in the world has watched that Tiger King on Netflix. So that was something that was pretty interesting and pretty funny. And I think social media has kind of exploded there. So that's one show I've been watching, and it's really interesting. I think you can talk about that show for probably hours. It's very interesting.
Did you watch it, Frenchie?
I have not. Tiger King?
Yeah.
I've not seen it yet. I am binge watching Llama Llama and Peppa Pig.
Good dad. I feel like that's in my near future.
It is. I can help you out to navigate through that. But you guys, to both of you, Rico and Mans, have you guys seen Tiger King?
I didn't finish it.
Yeah, we saw it. My wife watched it, and I didn't watch it with her. And then she's like, "You gotta watch it." And then I ended up watching the whole thing. It's pretty good. It's pretty entertaining. I mean, they live a pretty wild life. Those people, they're pretty eccentric.
Yeah,
crazy.
I had no idea that it was just a while ago, and that's one of the guys is in jail right now or whatever. So I'm not on.
Oh, spoiler alert, Frenchie. Relax.
Spoiler alert.
If you hadn't even seen it, then you're calling out spoiler alerts.
I don't have anything else to do but read Apple News or whatever the hell comes on my phone.
It means you're on Instagram, hey? That's all that means.
Yeah, thanks, guys. So being in isolation or whatever it's called that we are, tell me something that you've learned about yourself that you might not have known before. Josh, I'm gonna go right to you as I pick up my phone that just dropped.
Why'd you start with me? Something I learned about myself.
Yeah, like what new skill have you learned or something like that? Do you know what's going on?
I learned I'm pretty good at golf on virtual reality for the PlayStation. I picked that up lately. I really like golfing, and I was like, I can't go golf, so I have a VR, so I got the golf for that. Other than that, not much. I'm just trying to stay entertained the best we can, but I haven't really picked up any new hobbies yet. I've just really been focusing on current things that I've done and just trying to improve upon.
Well, whether you believe it or not, I guess Getsy built a chicken coop.
Yeah.
Do you believe that, Rico? Is that even something? Is that possible?
Well, we'll see if it stands when he's done. And
Yeah.
I texted him separately. I asked him if it was a kit or if he built it from scratch or if it was something from IKEA. So he was vague on the details. We'll wait and see how. Also, if the chickens, how long they last over there. We'll see how they go.
Speaking of IKEA, I got a question from R. Getzlaff from Coda Casa, and he wants to know, Hampus, where do you shop? Where do you shop since IKEA's been closed?
I know it's depressing times here at the Lindholm mansion, but thankful I have Whole Foods close by.
Mansion, hey?
What's that?
You referenced that.
What was that?
Nothing.
No. But Whole Foods been really good, and I always find ways, and I've been stocking up on IKEA for a while, so I still have some goodies laying in the pantry.
All right, let's move on to another question. This is from Eric Stevens. You all know and love The Athletic. This one is to Manson and Hampus. You guys made some changes on the blue line this year. How do you like the play of the additions of Juice, Hakanpää, and Irwin? And do you like kind of what you guys see for the blue line, in the future?
You want to start now?
Yeah, I can start. Yeah, no, obviously I was on the sideline when they all came in, and I think looking at how they were playing, I think they all did a really impressive job coming in. I was talking a little bit to Juice and Hakanpää, and sometimes it's easier coming up and playing when you really get to play and get the confidence and feel like people believe in you. And when you're playing up in NHL, you play with better players than you would do like down in American League, and it sometimes makes the game easier if you're like playing the right way. And I think they did a really good job coming up, and they didn't look out of place at all.
What about you, Mans?
Yeah, I thought they were good additions for us. I mean, I noticed, Hakanpää when he came in at the beginning of the year and through camp, by the time he came back, when he was called up towards the end of the year, he was a way different player. It looked like he was a lot more comfortable on the ice and kept up with the pace. And he was a lot really solid player. He's a big body, so he played physical for us. He was a good addition. And Juice and Irwin, they were just steady for us there. Juice obviously added offensive for us, so it's gonna be good going into next year, having those guys around to push for positions and really elevate the competition level.
Rico, I'm going to stay with Eric Stevens. He's got a question for you. Team-wise, how do you feel you guys, how the game was when things stopped? And then, of course, individually, you were looking to get 30 this season. So it was a good one for you.
Yeah, I think team-wise, I like where our foundation's at. I like the structure and the systems that Dallas has come into or brought in this year. I think it gives us that solid base to work off of. I think as far as the team, I think we still have some growing to go through. I think this season, there's a good progression throughout the year. There's ups and downs for a lot of guys. I think, certainly with the unknown we're in right now and the unknown with the off season, or if we're not in the off season, we don't really know right now, but I think everybody individually still has to take steps to get better and to improve the team. So, we still have to find ways to get better throughout the entire lineup, I believe. And, I think our foundation is there, and I think, we're trending in that direction. As far as my season, certainly it was eyeing that 30 goal mark again. Certainly something I was pushing for and hoping to get to. I was pretty happy with, started off the year great, had a bit of a lull, which went through, and then kind of came out of that and, was obviously back on track to get there, and, 30 goals and 50 points, hopefully. And, certainly unfortunate. I don't know if we're going to finish the season or not, or what's going to happen here in the future, but, certainly was a mark that I was trying to get to.
Rico, I'm going to let you go for a minute because you got to go find Surfer. You got to do a side-by-side with the beard, I believe.
Perfect. I'll get him. I'll even get Sam in here. He just got a haircut about an hour ago, so he looks like a new man.
Side-by-sides, we'll do this. And gents, Mans and Hampus. So this is Zoom. Apparently, this is the thing. My 3-year-old daughter says, "Are we going to Zoom tonight?" It's crazy. So,
Really?
Have you guys had Zoom parties? Is that a thing?
I've heard about it. I've heard about like companies and stuff do happy hours and stuff on it, which is kind of cool. Like, all your workers, you sit and like be with each other. I think it's really cool. You can sit and chat and have a drink or whatever you would do together. You sit there and enjoy each other's company. Like, obviously, I prefer to have someone else than you friendship, but this is all good.
I deserve that. Thank you very much. Yeah, and I've heard they have themed Zoom parties, like 80s parties and stuff like that, where you dress up Manson. That seems like that's right up your alley.
Oh, you know it. We haven't explored that avenue yet. We've been playing some game nights. We've had 2 game nights with some of Julie's friends and that are friends of mine now too. But that's the only experience I've had with Zoom. No 80s parties, none of that stuff.
Yeah, I haven't explored that either. But as we take a look at Choco Bear, which is apparently on Adam's couch right there, which is always good to promote. And guys, before Adam gets back and finds his 2 pups, what are you missing most about not being outside besides hockey? Hampus?
I think it's just like, obviously I've been fortunate to be able to sometimes go on like a hike here and there, but because I live in an area where it's very quiet, it's just not any people really out there. But I think it's just coming back to like your daily routines, being able to go and drive and see friends and kind of like go and play some tennis, and just kind of do like, sometimes it's just feeling to have the option to do all those stuff. It's not like you go and do that stuff every day, all day, but just the feeling of not feeling that this coronavirus controls you to be at home. I think that's my biggest thing.
Yeah, and your family too back home, obviously. So you got to stay in touch with them through Zoom or through whatever mediums you have, right?
Yeah, I might have to start up soon with them now, but after doing this. But yeah, no, you keep in touch for sure. But they're doing good, and Sweden hasn't been that strict so far on like staying at home. Like, you can still go outside and do some things, but they just recommend you to be away from people. But it's not as strict over here yet, and so I hope it doesn't get worse there.
I agree. I think we have back in the shot.
Whoa!
Hey, look at that.
Whoa! So we got Surfer on your left, right?
Yep. There's Surfer.
Oh my!
Look at him.
I like that. That actually is really a similar side by side there.
And there's Sammy.
Sammy.
This is what you call advertising right here.
Who's that guy? Look at that, Sammy.
That's a nice trim. Now, Sammy, Rico, he's been on your paddleboard and he's been on the Duffy, correct?
Yep, both.
He likes it.
The paddleboard was we were gone for about an hour and he didn't move an inch, and then on the way back we were about 3 houses away and he decided to jump off. So that was interesting, but seemed to like it. So we bought him a life jacket. Haven't tried it out yet.
Nice. Now, so just so everyone knows, again, Surfer you're trying to get him adopted, or have you? You're still working on it?
He has been.
Oh, he has been. Okay.
Yeah, so we just got to do the paperwork, and I think he'll be out of here in a couple days.
Awesome. Well, Rico, as I have you on right now, I'm going to get back to another question. Jonathan Davis from NHL Network Radio wants to know one teammate, past or present, that you always have to watch your back, or you could be his next practical joke victim.
It probably have to be Kess and Juice. I would think. I think those two. I was fortunate enough to get to sit beside Kess in the locker room. Him and Juice seemed to feed off each other pretty good, and you never knew what they were going to get up to. And I don't know if you've been fortunate enough to see all of Juice's TikToks during quarantine, but they've been pretty entertaining.
Yeah, he's taking advantage of all that time on his hand. He was writing some sort of a tablecloth in the last one I saw.
Yeah, he had the
floating in the air.
The broomstick. He was flying around like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Yep, doesn't surprise me one bit. Those are two good ones. Okay, let's stay with getting some of these questions out there. Another one from Jonathan Davis from NHL Network Radio. Manson, a player you have played with that you think would make a good head coach?
Oh, I might stick with Juice on that one. He knew the game pretty well, and he can kind of command a room and relate with everybody on the team. So I think he'd make a good head coach because guys would respect him. And he knows, again, right now he's running a hockey program here in California, in Southern California, with another buddy of his. And I actually went on the ice with them, and I watched him coach the kids, and he was really good. So I think that would translate even as he went up in the leagues because he's played in the NHL. So I think he'd be a good coach.
And he's an analyst right now, which makes me laugh. I've not tuned in to listen to him. He certainly gives me enough dishes it out every time I walk by him in the hallway before he goes up to the broadcast booth and says, this is easy, isn't it? Like, yeah. Really easy. Adam, I'll stay with you. Brian Compton, NHL.com. Now, we kind of addressed this, but before the season, when you put a number, I don't even know if you do this, a number on the amount of goals you want to score, is 30, would that been a great plateau? Is that something that you kind of throw out there?
Yeah, I mean, going into the year, I think you kind of have a number in mind, but I think for me, I try to just focus on what I want to do in my game. I guess my overall game. I think going into the year, I wanted to shoot the puck more. Kind of simple things like that where you can get your entire game going. So coming into the year, that was kind of a main focus. And then as you progress, I think you kind of want to. You want to get to 20, and then you want to get to 25, and then you want to get to 30, and try and push yourself. And so that's kind of how I go about that. I don't really say coming in the year, I mean, obviously you want to score as many goals as you can, but I didn't come in and say, I want to get back to 30.
Yeah.
For me, it was more focus on my game and what I needed to do, to hopefully get there. And for me, I think coming into the season was just shoot the puck more.
Let's stay with Brian Compton from NHL.com. To all you guys, and Enrico, we can just start with you. Just give me, we've kind of touched on this a little bit, but one thing that excites you the most about this team moving forward.
I think just that foundation that we have and that we've kind of established this season. You certainly see it in glimpses that we'd be able to play with anybody. So now I think moving forward, it's just we as a team have to find that consistency in our game. And back to the last question, I think that's another area where it's just trying to be consistent on a nightly basis, to have success individually. And then I think as you do that, it goes into the team game and trying to help the team be as consistent as possible.
Hampus?
Yeah, no, I agree with Rico there. It's as a team, we really have some high tops and some lows as well. But if we can be a little more consistent, and I think I really agree with Adam Sesser too. I think if all players individually can try to go home and work and those little things, whatever it is you need to improve, and try to be more consistent with all the stuff that you can be better at night in and week out, I think that can do something that's really going to help us in the end. Because end of the day, and the games are so much little things that kind of decide the decision of a game or of a season, and you just have to be up for every little game and every single second of a hockey game to be able to win them.
Josh, we touched on kind of the same vein. We've touched on some of the younger guys, but when you look at something that you're excited about, is it the youth? Is it the veterans, or is it just another year under the belt of you guys all playing together? Because obviously this is a huge transition year for you.
Well, I think, we have a lot of hope with our youth. We have a lot of confidence in the young players that are coming up, and as they mature, the guys that have played a couple games, or as they mature as players and as men, learning how to play in the NHL and have a consistent game. And then for our veterans, just the core group that we have, I'm really happy with that. I think we have a bunch of strong leaders on our team, and that's only going to help these young guys as they come up and learn how to, like I said, have a consistent game and impact on the team.
And I do have one more from our media members out there that are hanging out with us. Some of these questions kind of bleed into one another. So if you're a media member, you're listening and I don't get to it, I think they've kind of answered it in another question. But Stephen Wino from the Associated Press, to all players, without the ability to get on the ice, we've kind of talked about it. How do you guys, do you mimic skating, and have you thought about rollerblading, or is that too dangerous?
I've actually thought about rollerblading once. I don't have any rollerblades though, and I don't want to go to the store and buy some, and I don't know how to get my hands on some. I used to have a pair. I don't know how dangerous it is. I mean, we are professional hockey players. We'd hope that it's not too dangerous for us to skate on some rollerblades, but I think I'd have to take definitely some precautionary measures. I've seen some other guys on Instagram. I think the NHL is posting some guys are rollerblading. It's similar to a stride, but at the same time, it is a little bit different. But yeah, I was thinking about it. Never did though.
That mansion that you have you put your rollerblades on and gone through your house?
I don't think you heard it.
Were you asking me or Rico?
You're ignoring me. That's fine. Oh,
I have rollerblades. I actually have
Patrick Marleau rollerblades in his house with his. Are you doing this? What are you doing?
No, I would do it outside if it's nice weather. I have those like Manson was saying. There's this rollerblades that's supposed to feel like you're skating. They're called marsh blades, so they're kind of like when you lean, as a skate. Like if you lean forward, your toe picks in, and like the rollerblades are supposed to be more getting like your muscles, and you have to balance them in a different way. So I've been doing that a little bit actually. If I can go out and just go for a stroll, but as I said, I've been fortunate to go to rink too, so I can go out and go for a little skate around too if I want that. So I've been really fortunate in that way.
How about Rico? All the beaches are closed, so you got some tough area over there.
Yeah, I just take the elevator in the house. I don't rollerblade around.
You rollerblade?
Yeah,
you probably got those beach rollerblades with the four wheels in your house, like spinning around doing 80s dances and stuff.
Yeah, the boots with the big brake on the front.
Oh God, you guys are cracking me up. Well, listen, before we wrap things up here, I want to get your thoughts on this being a very difficult time. I know you're aware of the Samuelis and what they're doing for all the employees over at Honda Center, the arena employees that are working the games and events that were supposed to be scheduled. And I think it's through June 30th is kind of what they've agreed to do, which is really unprecedented. And we haven't seen anything like it. And I know that all of you have a relationship with the owners in a different way, but Mans, I'll just start with you. When you hear something like that, and those are your owners, I don't know, what's the word that comes to mind? Is like just you take a great pride in being able to be part of an organization that does something like that?
Oh, pride for sure is something that jumps out. I was asked about it the other day, and he said, "What did you think when you heard it?" And I said, "Well, at first I was, I understood. I was like, this generosity is just amazing. I mean, for them to do that." But then I said I wasn't really surprised by it because it's something that ever since I've been here, the Samuelis have always put such an emphasis on supporting the local community and giving back and being charitable. And so when they stepped up and did that, I mean, it's such a huge thing and extremely generous, but I didn't put it past them because they're just that type of people. That's just the kind of owners and the type of people that they are. They want to give back. They want to help out. so I wasn't caught off guard by it too much. But I'm definitely proud to be an Anaheim Duck when you see your own stepping up and doing things like that.
And Hampus, that being said, I know that you're doing a lot of stuff too, and with the SCORE program, right? Staying at home and kind of along with that, kind of let some of the folks know what you're doing to help out, kind of continue the Samuelis, trying to get out there and be good to all the youth.
Yeah, no, it's just little things that we as professional athletes, like I've been a kid, I've been growing up, I've been doing little things in the backyard and at home. I think just finding any way to kind of get better now, like you stay at home. There's actually, if you just use your imagination, there's a lot of ways you can actually probably improve your game even more. Like I can throw it back to when I was little and playing inline hockey, or when I was stick handling around the house or doing whatever. Like those little things, they add up. So I was doing some small videos and try to help people. You can pick up anything you have at home, tennis ball or hockey puck, and just use some stuff that you have in the house to kind of start working your hands and try to work on some new moves or whatever you can do to kind of like stay active with all that kind of stuff. And I think it's a really good time for that.
And Enrico, I'm going to go back to just the Samuelis and what they've done, because you being kind of the newest member of the team on this panel. What kind of came to your mind when you read that release that the Samuelis were going to do that for all their arena employees?
They're just special people. Coming here, you could tell right away that they always want to have a big impact within the community. I think they've done that for a number of years, just with the Ducks and the events that are run everywhere in the area. And like Mance said, I don't think it was a huge surprise. If you know the Samuelis, I think they're such caring people and want to give back. And it's certainly a great thing that they're doing and trying to lead the way in doing so. And hopefully that wears off on other people.
And gents, as we wrap this up, we kind of end where we started in talking about this landscape that we're in, and we certainly had some fun and joked around a lot. We know that at the forefront of our thoughts are with everybody out there on the front lines and with everyone that's been affected and families that have been affected by everything happening with COVID-19. So, Mance, I'm actually start with you because I saw a pretty cool PSA that you were part of. It was all the LA major sports teams that got together, yourself, Mike Trout, Dustin Brown, a couple other guys that we saw on there. What was the importance of you to be part of that? And just, if you could just let everyone else know what that message was and how important that message is.
Yeah, it was an extremely important message, and I'm glad that I was able to be a part of it. Just the importance of that we're all in this together, and that as hard as these times are, that we're going to get through it, and that the brighter days are to come. But we're in this together, and you're not alone going through the battles. And so yeah, it was a good message.
And Hampus, kind of as you go through this process and do the best you can to get through it, and we talked about the messaging that you're doing with the SCORE Stay at Home program. What are some of the things that you want to say to the people out there listening?
No, I think you're just really impressed with all the hospitals and how the country's kind of you can just tell everyone's kind of coming together and taking care of each other. And I think as much as bad there is right now, I think it's going to be a lot of good coming from it. And I think we're all just really thankful for all the people that you're saying are in the front line and doing all the hard work for us. And all I can really do is sit at home and try to keep myself safe for not spreading this thing. So I think if everyone can just try to find those little things to do to help and be thankful for those people working the front line and doing all the heavy duty for us right now. Yeah,
Enrico, just as we've been talking about, I mean, it's been difficult to be inside, but that's kind of where we need to be. I mean, if for especially to help all those people, and what we've been hearing is, we're still in the heat of the moment. So if there is a time for us to abide by that, it's right now.
Yeah, I think we all just have to do our part. And for right now, our part is just staying home. Staying home, staying out of the way, not spreading this thing. That will go a long way. And if everybody can come together and do that, hopefully we can help all those people, all the healthcare workers, all the doctors and nurses, and the people on the front lines, help slow this thing down and try to bring it to an end. So, you can't thank those people enough, putting their own health and their own safety at risk for so many other people, especially over at UCI for us, and all the great work that they're doing. You can't thank them enough. And the only way that we can really do that is to stay home and to do our part and try to bring this thing to an end.
Well, we thank you guys a ton for doing this and for being part and for all the messaging. We know a lot of people look up to you guys, and then for you to have those words of encouragement, that means a lot. For me personally, you all look great. Haven't seen you for a while. I mean, the glorious beard, Rico, I love it. Hampus, you combed your hair. It's wonderful. And Manson, you're just you, which is great. But yeah, and by the way, Josh, on a serious note, dude, best wishes to you and your wife coming up here in 3 weeks. Our thoughts will be with you guys for a very safe pregnancy. We cannot wait for you to be a dad. We know you'll be one of the best out there, so we look forward to that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Learning from you, Frenchie. Learning some tips from you as I go.
I don't think that's a smart, man. So I don't think that's
I can make a mean Olaf quesadilla. I'll show you how that
Nice.
But gents, and also from me to you and the Ducks organization fans, just be safe out there. We care. We think about you guys all the time. To you and your families, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, and we look forward to seeing you guys soon.
Thanks, Frenchie.
Thanks, Frenchie.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, everyone who watched here today. And please stay safe out there, and hopefully we'll chat very, very soon.